On February 14, a small unmanned drone flew into the arch that covers the damaged reactor at Chernobyl. The same Chernobyl where the most devastating nuclear disaster in human history unfolded. Here's why this breach is far more dangerous than you realize and exactly what Russia hopes to achieve. The arch, officially called the new Safe Confinement, is a giant steel shell built to keep deadly radioactive dust and debris from escaping into the air, soil, and water. It weighs 36,000 tons, costs nearly $2 billion, and was designed to protect people and the environment for at least 100 years. But in seconds, the drone made a hole big enough to drive a car through, and it showed the fortress wasn't as safe as we thought. The original shelter, built just after April 1986 accident, was erected in 7 months by Soviet engineers who wanted a quick fix. They bolted together thick steel plates and concrete blocks around the shattered reactor core, but they never welded these seams or sealed the roof. Rain and snow dripped inside, rust ate at the metal, and by 2008, the structure was in danger of collapse. Workers had to add scaffolding and braces to hold it up, but it remained a temporary solution to a permanent problem. Work on the new arch began in 2007 and took nearly 10 years to complete. Engineers built giant rails around the damaged reactor and slid the arch shell into place from a distance, so no one had to work in the most radioactive zones. The arch stretches more than 250 meters in length and towers over the reactor like a cathedral. Inside, it encloses the old shelter and the ruined reactor below. Special fans keep the air pressure inside the arch a few pascals lower than outside. This slight vacuum pulls air in rather than letting it out, so any loose radioactive particles are trapped and filtered, not blown into the exclusion zone. When the drone struck, it ripped through two 40-foot concrete walls and a layer of waterproof insulation between them. That insulation had kept moisture from corroding the steel arch, but it also caught fire when it was pierced. Firefighters spent almost 3 weeks punching holes into the structure to follow the blaze, moving carefully as they searched for hotspots. Each time they cut through steel or concrete, they risked exposing themselves to radiation and letting more contamination escape. This accident showed that the arch cannot be treated like an unbreakable shell. It was built to handle natural disasters like earthquake, tornadoes, heavy snows, but not bombs or drones. The builders never planned for war. Yet today, Chernobyl sits near an active conflict. The arch rests on rail, so in theory, it could be rolled away from the reactor, fixed, and then rolled back. In practice, moving a 36,000-ton structure that rests on rails driven into soft ground carries huge risks. A slight shift in the tracks or an unbalanced load could cause the arch to jam, warp, or even collapse, potentially releasing radioactive dust directly into the air. The timing could not be worse. As summer approaches in northern Ukraine, warmer weather and rainstorms will test the damaged arch. Water will seep through the opening, corroding steel and weakening concrete. Heat and humidity speed up rust, and the freeze-thaw cycles of spring and fall can crack brittle materials. The pressure system that pulls air inward may no longer work if the hole remains open. Without negative pressure, any breeze that blows across the gap might carry radioactive dust out into the air. All of this matters because the Chernobyl exclusion zone covers about 1,000 square miles. In 1986, when the reactor exploded, it released nearly 400 times more radiation than the Hiroshima bomb did in 1945. That was just 5% of the reactor's core, which included uranium, plutonium, and a glassy molten mixture called corium. 4 tons of radioactive dust still lie in the broken reactor, mixed with other waste inside the old shelter. If that dust drifts into the sky or seeps into groundwater, it could spread contamination across Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and potentially beyond. Targeting Chernobyl also fits into a broader pattern of attacks on nuclear sites in Ukraine. Since the large-scale invasion began in 2022, Russian forces shelled Europe's largest nuclear power plant at Zaporizhzhia and sent drone buzzing near the South Ukraine and Khmelnytskyi plants. They have publicly boasted about their nuclear arsenal and used these threats to warn the world against intervening more directly. Under the Geneva Conventions, attacking a nuclear facility is a war crime, but denials and false claims are part of the strategy. Russia blames Ukraine for provocations or claims that the attack never happened. Inside Russia's own archives lie the echoes of past secrecy. 3 months after the 1986 accident, declassified KGB documents detail the scale of contamination, the true cause of meltdown, and the health damage suffered by local residents. Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev stayed silent for 18 days before admitting the truth, and even then he blamed mysterious foreign saboteurs. Today, the Kremlin's word carries the same mix of denial and whataboutism, obscuring the real dangers at places like Chernobyl. Ukraine had plans to clean up the site over the next few decades. Starting in 2029, engineers hope to dismantle the old shelter, remove corium and other waste, and store it in secure containers. They aim to turn the exclusion zone into a managed site, reducing radiation to safe levels and allowing limited research access. Thousands of jobs, millions of dollars in aid, and years of work were expected to make Chernobyl a symbol of recovery, rather than just a warning of human error. Those plans are now on hold. Most experts and workers have been evacuated or reassigned to the front lines. Funding is diverted to defense, and international donors face uncertainty about safety and access. Repairing the arch might cost hundreds of millions more, assuming the hole can be sealed before corrosion spreads. Engineers must decide whether to patch the arch in place or attempt the risky move of sliding it off the reactor. Either choice carries dangers. A botched patch could leave weak spots, and a failed move could tear open the shell completely. Even if Ukraine and its allies close the gap in the arch, the psychological damage is real. For decades, the new Safe Confinement stood as proof that humanity could manage its worst nuclear accidents. Now the image of a drone slicing through the shield sends a message of fragility and threat. It shows that war can reach into the most dangerous places, turning long-term safety projects into urgent crises. What happens next will depend on international support, engineering skill, and political will. Governments could set up special teams of nuclear engineers and fund emergency repairs. They could deploy advanced robotics or remote-controlled drones to seal the hole without risking human lives. They could pressure Russia to allow full inspections and guarantee no further attacks. Or could they budget for moving the arch, hoping that a second slide goes without incident? For ordinary people, the best steps are to stay informed and support transparency. Independent scientists need to open data on radiation levels in soil, water, and air around Chernobyl. Journalists must report on repair efforts and funding gaps. Citizens in donor countries can lobby their governments to commit resources to secure the arch and resume cleanup plans. That kind of pressure can make a difference, even in the face of geopolitics and armed conflict. Chernobyl remains a living lesson in the cost of cutting corners, the need for long-term planning, and the reality that no barrier is invincible. The February strike showed that a site once sealed for a century can be breached in seconds. Now the task is to learn from that lesson and act quickly to close the breach before summer rains write another chapter of risk. In a world where radioactive dust drifts with the wind, safety anywhere means safety everywhere.